It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. This week we have in studio with us Brian Emerton, local artist. And I'll let you explain. Where exactly do you think your music fits into? What category would you put you?
I would say either somewhere between Kid Rock, more of the popish country, stuff like that, really.
So a little bit of a mix of Southern rock and some of the newer country style.
Right.
Kind of like Jason Aldean, maybe?
Yeah.
In that vein, yeah. Brantley Gilbert.
A little bit more attitude, but about the same genre.
How long have you been playing music?
20 years now.
How did you get started?
Well, I started when I was 12. I played football and loved football, and I was a football player until I seen Guns N' Roses. I see Guns N' Roses.
How do you go from I want to tackle that guy to I want to play music for him?
Video, Welcome to the Jungle.
Really?
Seen it on MTV first time, that was it. Click, like that. I wanted a guitar, wanted to learn how to play.
So Slash really was what drew you in, and you just kind of went, wow, look at what that guy's doing.
I had him all over my wall, hanging up everywhere.
How did that go over?
My mom didn't like it too well. She wanted me to take it down, but I kept adding more to the, room and everything. But
were they supportive of you picking up a guitar? Did they help you get one? Or?
At first, it was like a hobby thing, but then it was just, once I learned it and learned on my own and stuff like that, they were very, appreciative of it and told me to do what I wanted to. They hated that I quit football, but, music was my love. That's my love still today, In
the end, I think that really helps, having that support base. You kind of need that if you're going to get started in music. You need at least one person, I think. Cheerleading. See how I brought that back to sports with the whole cheerleaders and football. So your friends, were they receptive too? Or?
No, not at first. Nobody really played music until I was about 16. And then my buddies in high school, we started a band, metal band, and did that for quite a while. And then after that, things weren't going right. So I just said, you know what, I'll do acoustic. I'll do it my way. And that way I don't have to argue with myself. So me and, buddy Scott Hamilton, he's co-writer on most of my songs, and we just got together, started writing, and there we,
So it's all mostly now what you do is just guitar.
Yeah, and sing, guitar and sing, and I can play drums, bass, piano. I'm a one-man band, but can't do it all at once, you know what I mean?
No, so you layer that for what you're putting together. In fact, we've got one of your songs that we have started playing. How about if we take a look at one of them? Driftin' and Dreamin'.
This was one Scott wrote. He had the music wrote for it, and, it was one of the dark times in my life. I just kind of collaborated all my memories of being on the road and everything, and I just kind of just threw the words together, and they came out. It was just about a dream of being lost in your mind, pretty much.
So that's where the whole thing comes together from.
Yeah, it's more of you're here 1 minute and you're lost, but you're inside yourself and you don't know what's going on. So it's just kind of like a reference, kind of to Jim Morrison. I'm a big Doors fan, so kind of used his style of writing and just put it all together.
All right, well, let's give it a listen. It is Driftin' and Dreamin'. It's Brian Emerton on the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. Tonight we are with Brian Emerton, local artist who has gone the solo route. Now, you started out, you've been playing, I think we said earlier, for about 20 years.
Right.
You didn't start solo. I think you said you started off with a band, kind of a high school type thing, bunch of guys getting together, did the metal route. How long did that last?
Probably about a total of 6 years. We were in a band called Malicious Intent. It was a local band. And we played shows in Kentucky and Nashville and places just all around. And, it was a fun thing to do, and I loved the metal, and I still do today. But, a marriage, a lot of times it don't last forever. So, everybody was arguing. Nobody could ever write together without getting mad. So we just, like I said, I just called it quits and did it on my own.
Was it the rigors of the road that took its toll, or?
You could say that, maybe a spotlight, who got in the spotlight or who was the leader of the band and stuff like that. A band's supposed to be like a team. Everybody has a part and they all do it together. And, It's
supposed to be a bunch of people coming together, but a lot of times it's just a bunch of egos hanging out.
You got like a big family, you get that one spoiled kid, he's just, it ruins everything,
So has that soured you on doing bands from this point forward? Or
No, I just never could find anybody except Scott to really know what I was going to do next. I can jam with him, and I know exactly where the direction he's going, and same as me, he knows where I'm going. So we collaborated really well with each other on the music writing and everything. And, he's just a great guitar player, and love working with him.
You've been with him for a while now, working just the two of you on some music, putting some things together. But going back to your previous experience out on the road, getting to open, I think you said you traveled to Kentucky, you did Nashville. What's the biggest place you played at?
I would say the Cannery in Nashville. We played in shows in front of about 3,000 people, and that was just wild. I mean, it just blows your mind to go in front of that people. And then we played shows that, nobody showed up except for the bands.
Was it more intimidating when nobody really showed up or when you had 3,000 people?
It felt the same. It's just like you're there to do your job. You get up there and you do it and then go home, get paid and go home,
Once the music starts, it just kind of washes over and nothing else matters.
If you're there. If you ain't, you ain't,
So your biggest crowd was up to about 3,000. What's the farthest you've been out to play anywhere?
I've been out to Oklahoma and Texas and places like that on my own playing before I got with Scott. I went out there. I was set to do a 46-city tour.
Really?
With this guy in New Jersey who was wanting to manage me, but had some hardships at home and had to come home, so I had to give it up.
So you were close to going out and doing the whole solo thing, and one thing happened, another thing happened, and it just kind of brought you back here.
Right.
And now you're making the music that you are, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the music that you are making, what your next steps are going to be, and play something else, too, as we continue. It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7, having a conversation this evening with Brian Emerton, who is a solo artist. I keep saying that, but really you have a collaboration. You have a partner.
Yeah.
So you just haven't taken the time to say, all right, let's name ourselves this duo.
Well, actually, I did name the band Earl Maggard, and that... Long story short.
Wait, no, what? Long story short,
I was at my buddy's house having a few cold ones and got really messed up and wanted to listen to Merle Haggard. And actually what came out was Earl Maggard, so the joke stayed with me forever. And then whenever I started doing these songs, they said, well, why don't you call yourself Earl Maggard? Be funny about it. So I used it for a long time and people picked up on it. I got like 30,000 plays on MySpace in like a month. People were just picking up on it everywhere.
Okay, well, you and Scott then go under the heading of Earl Maggard. Do you use that now?
No.
Nope. It's a great name.
It's funny. It's kind of I don't know, it's just an inside joke, and it lasted, and I got tired of everybody calling me Maggard. Everybody called me Maggard all the time.
Well,
now
there
it's
is
like,
that.
I want to be known as just Brian, there goes Brian.
I get that. Darius Rucker to this day still has people that call him Hootie, even though he was never Hootie. It was just somebody.
Hootie and a Blowfish.
Yeah, so I get the whole, I don't want to be confused with that. So you did kind of venture with Scott. You two have been playing together for a while now. You've gotten some songs that you've worked on, that you've written up. Do you guys go out together just somewhere and perform, or?
Not anymore. We used to, but we've kind of just took time off to do the family thing right now. And like I said, still songwriting. Write a song just about every other day. I've got probably over 100 wrote.
So are you in the process of trying to put some of these down and get them recorded, or?
In the notebook. That's about it right now. But I mean, when things happen, they happen. They can happen today, they can happen next week. You never know.
When you do record a song, do you find a studio or do you have a personal setup?
Scott has a personal setup. Go to his place and, we jam there and, lay it all down. There's quiet. You just throw it down.
What kind of setup does he use?
Just the Reaper on the computer. It's a download or, like a music mixer. I can't explain all that stuff, man.
So he goes on with the software.
Yeah.
He goes with the software side as opposed to the hardware. You're not running off an 8-track or 4-track.
I wish, but It's a lot less buttons.
Hey, these days, software is just as good, and a lot more people are relying on it and getting a lot more things recorded. Now, you've been working on the songwriting. You've gotten more music together. There's a song, actually, you're going to play for us tonight. You brought in your guitar. So tell me a little bit about the tune you're going to do. What'd you say? It's Live and Learn?
Yes, it's about hardships that most people face every day. It's really about breakups of mom and dads and how it affects the kids and everything. And it's a little bit different than what my normal stuff is, but I think it'll hit home with a lot of people. Just, they'll understand what I'm trying to say.
All right. Well, this is Brian Emerton performing for us live. This is Live and Learn on the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7.
He wrote a letter saying goodbye to the world. He said, I'm tired of living life like this anymore. I'm tired of being lonesome, and I'm tired of being scared. I get so tired of waking up and no one being there. He wrote a letter saying goodbye to his girls. He said, I'm sorry for never being there. It's not that I don't love you, and it's not that I don't care. It's not that I don't miss you, it's just my mama didn't want me there. Sometimes this life, it seems just like an evil game. You never win or lose, 'cause it's all the same. You never know where you're going, and only God knows where you've been. You never know which way to turn, or who you can call a friend. You live and learn, live and learn. Through all the hell and pain, you're always gonna see again. You live and learn, you live and learn. No matter what kind of life you live, no matter what kind of life you live. They wrote a letter saying hello to his world. Said, Mommy, want you to come back home. 'Cause we're tired of being lonesome, and we're tired of being scared. We're so tired of growing up and you not being there. You live and learn, you live and learn. Through all the hell and pain, you're always gonna see again. You live and learn, you live and learn. No matter what kind of life you live, no matter what kind of life you live.
It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7, being entertained this evening by Brian Emerton. Little ditty for us earlier. And yes, I use words like ditty. I'm kind of old school, but he did a song for us earlier in studio, Live and Learn, and you said that it was a little out of your comfort zone as far as the writing of that song goes. You have certain topics that you're really comfortable with.
Right. When you say comfortable, I'm used to the party life, back in the day, And writing a song like this is totally different for me because, nobody would expect it from me. But coming out of me, hopefully they'll get a different side of me. Too many me's. But, it's just a song about hardship, about people going through rough times, especially when you have kids and stuff. And, it's really heartfelt, kind of.
You're not big on the software as far as the recording part, but what about online? Do you have an online presence?
Well, you're talking like a Reverb Nation, stuff like that. We did have a Reverb Nation, but we forgot the password, so I am working on that now to get that started back up. It should be up any day now, hopefully. Well,
as soon as we've got the link, we will have to pass that along. You do have Facebook, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you can find him on Facebook. Just look for Brian Emerton.
Right.
I was going to tell him to look for Earl Maggard, but there's no point in that. So
you might find it on their old profile or something. I don't know, but it's dead.
Thank you, and you have a great night. This has been the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7.